Hey YouTube, I'm Bryce, and you are watching Zoom English Lessons by Team ESL, where I teach you English on Zoom. So today we're going to be looking at our fourth English tense. We will be looking at the present perfect continuous. We're going to be looking at forming positive statements, forming negative statements, creating yes and no questions, creating other styles of questions, and we'll be looking at the uses of the present perfect continuous. So let's get started with positive statements. So how do we create the present perfect continuous? Well, it's rather simple. We use the subject plus have plus been plus the present participle of the verb. So here are subjects: I, you, he, she, we, plural you, and they. We use have and has. We use has with the subjects he, she, and it. Then we have been, and then we have the present participle of the verb. What is the present participle, you might ask? Well, it's the base form of the verb plus ing. So for example, I have been running. You have been running. She has been running. We have been running. They have been running. Let's look at another example. Watching TV. I have been watching TV. He has been watching TV. You have been watching TV. And they have been watching TV. Another example, studying English. You have been studying English. We have been studying English. You have been studying English. They have been studying English. So in order to create the present perfect continuous as a positive statement, just remember to use the subject plus have or has plus been plus the present participle of the verb. All right, now that we've done positive statements, let's take a look and see how we can create negative statements using the present perfect continuous. So to create negative statements, we want to use the subject plus have or has plus not plus been plus the present participle of the verb. So almost the exact same as the positive statement, just adding in not after have. So we have our subjects, we have and has, then we have not, then we have been, and the present participle of the verb, the ing verb. So I have not been running. You have not been running. He has not been running. We have not been running. You have not been running. They have not been running. Looking at another example here, studying. I have not been studying. You have not been studying. He has not been studying. We have not been studying. They have not been studying. And finally, watching TV. We can just say you have not been watching TV. She has not been watching TV. They have not been watching TV. So just remember with the present perfect continuous, you just need, in a negative statement, you just need the subject plus have or has plus not plus been plus the present participle in that order. So fairly simple, almost the same as making a positive statement. And next up, we have yes and no questions. How do we form the present perfect continuous with yes and no question, or to create a yes and no question? Well, we use this equation here. It's fairly simple. Have plus the subject plus been plus the present participle. So we have and has. Here we have our subject, been, and then our ing verb. Have I been studying English? Have you been studying English? Has he or she been studying English? Have we been studying English? Have you been studying English? Have they been studying English? Yes, I have been. No, I have not been studying English. Yes, you have been studying English. No, you have not been studying English. These are just ways to respond to this kind of question. Let's look at another question here, watching TV. Have you been watching TV? Yes, I have been watching TV. No, I have not been watching TV. Have they been watching TV? Yes, they have been watching TV. No, they have not been watching TV. Oh, let's go back. So yeah, that's basically it for forming yes and no questions with the present perfect continuous. Just remember have and has first, plus the subject, plus been, plus the present participle of the verb. Moving on, we want to start looking at other styles of questions. Not all questions will just be yes and no questions. We also look at question words like who, what, where, when, why, and how. So to form a question with the present perfect continuous, we use the question word plus have or has, plus the subject, being, and the present participle of the verb. So let's start with who, and then have and has, then our subject, being, present participle. So who have you been studying with? I have been studying with my friend. Who have they been studying with? They have been studying with each other. Another example, what have you been watching on TV? I have been watching hockey on TV. Where has she been traveling? She has been traveling to Japan. Why have we been walking slowly? We have been walking slowly because I'm tired. Why have they been sleeping all day? I have been sleeping all day also because I'm tired. And moving on here, the present perfect continuous. Sorry about the error up here. But what are the uses of the present perfect continuous? We use the present perfect continuous to talk about actions that started in the past and continued until the present. So for example, I have been watching TV, but the program just finished. So this started in the past and it's continued up until this moment now that we are talking. We use the present perfect continuous with for and since to say when the action started or happened for the first time. So we use for length of time, and we use since for the point of time. Here's some examples. I have been eating at this restaurant for 3 years. And another one, we have been dating since February. So if you look at this graph here, it'll show you the use of the present perfect continuous. You start something in the past, an action you start in the past, and you continue all the way up until now. So you don't always know if you finished right now. All you know is you've been continuing that action up until this moment in time. So this is the uses of the present perfect continuous. And finally here, we've gone through quite a few different things, you guys. We've gone through positive statements, negative statements, yes, no questions, other styles of questions, and the uses of the present perfect continuous. So please, in the comments, write a few different examples. I'll let you know if you're correct or incorrect, but write one positive statement, which is just the subject plus have, been, and the present participle. Write a negative statement, which is the subject plus have plus not plus been plus the present participle. One yes, no question, have, subject, been, present participle, and one other question, question word, have, subject, been, present participle. Feel free to answer somebody else's question if you see they've asked a question. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit like. And if you want to see more grammar lessons, subscribe now. That way you won't miss any of our 12 English tenses videos that will be coming up almost daily. So if you liked our video, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And I hope to see you next time. This is Zoom English Lessons by Team ESL. Thanks for watching. See you soon.